So, hello, today we will be doing question number 25th on Leetcode, which is reverse nodes in K group. So, what is this problem is telling is to reverse nodes in K group, and we have given like head of a linked list, and we have to reverse the nodes of the list K at a time. So, as we can see in this test case also, so we have like 1 2, so and the K is given 2. So the K here is being given 2, as you can see. So for this K2 means we have to reverse like 1 to 2 to 2 to 1. So like and then 3 to 4 to 4 to 3 and then 5 remained. So for this the question says that you may not alter the values in the list node. Okay, so for the last remaining nodes, they said that if the number of nodes in the last will not remain as a multiple of k, which are the left out nodes. So in the end, they should remain as it is. So there will be no problem in that. So like 5 remain as it is, because obviously after 4 the k, the number of nodes or the k now that remains as equals to 1. So that is the main thing. Now this is a question. So after seeing this question, the one intuition is clear that we can directly reverse the node like the normal reverse logic, as we've already studied. We will be discussing it later. But how about what the main challenge is to how to reconnect them. So like here, I have reversed this one to like 2 to 1, but now I have to connect this 1 to 4, which is again the reversed node of the next group. And then 3 is the first node of this group, but now 3 is the last node, and then it has to reconnect with the next group set. So this is the main challenge. Now how we have done this in the logic, so how the intuition have formed. Now the thing comes. So firstly, for reversing a linked list, we have like this is the normal logic of maintaining current and previous. So previous is always initialized to the null and the current is to the head. Then after processing till the current is not equal to null, we get previous and the last node. Okay, which is obviously now the first node. Okay, and then current on the null, because all the links have been reversed now. So this logic is very much clear, which is nothing but next node we have already stored so that we can update then current to the next later on, and current next have been pointed to previous now, which is actually the step of reversing the link. Now previous has been updated to the current. So the next challenge, as I have discussed already, is to connect the nodes which are reversed now, of length k. So leaving last less than k node as it is. Okay, that's what question has been stated already. For this to connect, so two things come. Okay, like the current group we have processed, so we have to connect the previous end with this new head. Okay, and the second thing is obviously to connect its last, okay, which is initially the current, because initially the current is actually the head of that list, which is gonna be the last after reversing the group. So current is the first node, which is going to be the last node after reverse. Absolutely. So that's why we have to connect its last to the new current. Okay, new current is nothing but after reversing whole of the list, the current will be the head of the new group. So we must connect its last to that, like the head of the next group, the group going to be next. So in the last, it will be connect the last part's head with this current part's last. Okay, updating then in last updating previous end to the last. So the last node of current group, which is now going to be the previous end for the next group now. So as we have seen here in the dry run of this example, so 1 to 2 have been reversed to 2 to 1 and 3 to 4 to 4 to 3. Now like in the second iteration, the previous end was the 1 and now the previous is 4, which is the first node. Okay, which is actually the last node in the original list, and 3 has now become the last. So we have to connect to, so we have to obviously write this logic that previous end, the next of previous end should have the previous, means the first node of the next of the current group, and the last dot next should contain the current. So after like processing this particular group, now my current is on this 5, okay, which is actually my new group. So after processing whole of the while loop of the reversing, now current is actually on this 5. So obviously I have to collect this, connect this last next to this current, okay. Now previous end has been updated to the 3 because now it is the new last, okay. But now node left is 1, right? Because okay, here I have processed the list of the group of length 2, then again here group of length 2, but now here the node left is 1, so which is less than k, so loop will now end obviously, and ultimately we will be returning the head, which is obviously the modified list. So this is how we have discussed all of this logic of reversing the k groups in a list. Now discussing the code for this in Java. So as you can see that firstly I have initialized temp to head, right? Now why have initialized temp to head? So I want to just get the number of nodes in the list. So this is just simple, like, you know, running the while loop till the temp become null, so that I processed over all of the linked list in linear fashion and got the number of nodes in the last. Then this is my current list node obviously, like now I'm going in the logic of reversing the list. So for that I have initialized this current, then this dummy node. So like dummy node initializing to a random number like -1. So this dummy is just to have the address of the head in its next, so that I can return dummy dot next in the last, like as the modified head. So that's why I have initialized dummy. That's the use of dummy here. And then now my previous end is also initialized to dummy initially for the first group. Now this is the loop, like while nodes is greater than or equal to k, like till what I have to reverse the k groups. So this is the last node, which is initially the current, because obviously, okay, this node going to be the last node of the group, okay, which is initially the current, which is the head, okay. So this is going to the last, so I have initialized it already. Now so this is, I have already written for this like test case that one will be the last. So let's move this comment. So here previous to null as the logic of the reversing the list. So here the for loop just running for like the k nodes. So this is like for from 0 to k -1 to process the k nodes only. And here is just the normal logic I have already discussed of reversing the list. And here this is the that line I have to connect obviously, like previous and dot next to the previous. So now the previous is actually the first node, the head node of the reversed list, obviously, that I have to connect in the next of the previous end. And now, and in the next line I am doing last, last dot next is equals to current, which means that the current, the head of the new, new group, the next group which is going to be, and that head I am storing in the next of the last, the last which is the last of the current group. And then obviously updating the previous end to the last, because now this last is going to the previous end for the next group, okay. So I'm just modifying the comment that this last is going to be the previous end for the next group. So this is very much understanding now, decreasing the number of nodes to k, because it obviously uh, indicates that k nodes have been processed. So this is what it is indicating. So here, and after, when I will be like, when I have processed all the k groups, and in last some less than k nodes have been left out, then obviously that current, which will be the head of that left out group, will be connected to the next of last, and that will be the end of the slope after it. And I will be returning simply the head of the modified list, which is nothing but dummy.next of the dummy. So this is how all the logic goes of this question.